Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Vaesen Behind the Masks. We have hit a milestone. We are up to episode 20. So well
And
done,
not
everyone.
dead yet.
Not dead yet. I've still got another probably 20 sessions to go, so it's still a bit early yet. We'll see what happens, hey?
It might only be one of us for the last 19, but still.
It all depends on your choices, my dear. So we welcome once again Blake, Sharon, and Jim, and it's time to get this show on the road.
Now, did we get back to Venice or we're on the way?
We did get back. Sorry,
We
let me
did.
rephrase. You got back to Venice. I'm not there, damn it. No, you have traveled by train for about it's not too long, but it's probably not one full contiguous journey. So probably taking you a couple days to get to Venice from Florence by train. And once you reach the train station at Mestre, catch a carriage across the bridge, and yeah, you set foot back on terra firma, as much as Venice can be called terra firma.
What's the date?
Today's date is the 14th of December, 1866. You've been out hiking in the forest for a few days now. So it's been a bit of an ordeal for you, especially none of you, with the exception of Severino to a degree, none of you are really outdoorsy people. So
No, he didn't mind it that much.
No.
I am surprised that Agatha has not had a heart attack. Lots of shocks.
Lots of shocks. A lot of clutching of pearls. And a lot of her fanning, desperate fanning. Yes, Agatha's had quite a few little shocks.
On the train trip, I'll mention to Artemisia, you might want to exercise a bit more caution in town because the siblings have seen and met you. And unfortunately, that makes you more a target than usual. I, of course, will do everything I can to help and protect you, but, you've got to keep an eye at yourself as well.
She flashes you a little smile. Thank you. I'll be mindful of that in the future.
I wish it wasn't the case, but we just ended up in the mountains. It all was taken out of our control, unfortunately. But
sometimes that happens, and we just must accept the cards that we are dealt.
Yes.
But it's good to be home once again.
I enjoyed being out in the wilderness, but yes, it is good to a comfortable bed.
Mm. So it's probably late afternoon by the time you arrive at the villa itself. And you open the door. The house you've gotten used to the house. It exudes a presence. It has moods. Like Severino's been on the bad side of its mood for a while now, and you guys have all just felt all this cozy and warmth and love and whatever. But today, the house, it just feels universally dark and cold, dimly lit. The fires aren't imparting a lot of heat and light. You walk through the foyer into the dining room. There's a vase of flowers on the table, but those flowers are sad, washed out, and limp, arcing over the sides of the urn itself. The floorboards moan under your feet as you walk across them. You kind of get the impression that the house itself is in mourning. It's really quite...
Call out Vittorio's name and try and look for him.
You hear the thud, shuffle, shuffle, thud, shuffle, shuffle,
Okay,
thud,
cool.
shuffle. Severino, Artemisia, dove sei? Where are you? And he comes out of his quarters in the back, and he looks at you, and breaks into a smile. Oh, thank goodness you've come back. And Artemisia is going to come forward and sweep him up. We came back, no. We're all right.
What's happened? It seems different.
Victoria just shakes his head. 2 days ago. I've never felt this before. 2 days ago, something happened. Actually, no, it would have been 2 days, it would be 3 days ago.
Does that line up with the unicorn?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I think Bennett sort of looks to Artemisia and says, well, I don't quite know how all these things work, but it's possible that this is related to the death, the murder, I suppose, of a unicorn, a strange innocent beast we found in the forest.
Victoria goes, "Care?" He doesn't believe what you've just uttered.
And Bennett's like, did I mispronounce? Is that not correct? A unicorn. that's what.
I deserve that. And Victoria, his eyes widen. For
Yeah,
a
and I'll
second.
sort of take my hat off and say, yeah, look, it's one of the worst things we've ever seen. The unicorn was hunted down and killed. It hurt them, I'm glad to say, but yeah, unfortunately they won, but we shall find them and make them pay one way or another.
May they rot in hell.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
That would explain the house. This is very troubling. Very, very troubling. Come, get inside, get warm. I'll make you some food. Afterwards, you sit down too. You've had an ordeal. So, yes, Victoria will potter around in the kitchen and throw together something simple, but at least it's home cooked. Severino, you've got a feeling that the villa's war against you is on a bit of a hiatus.
Finally. I'll just pop out of the garden. Are the pixies still there, or?
No, the pixies aren't. They're not in the garden at all.
Hmm.
Not that you can see.
Okay. Not that they were buddies with me or anything, but all right.
No. Nope. Victoria goes, while you're out there, can you please get me some sage and some rosemary?
Desperately try to remember what those things look like, and okay. He's not a cook, he's not a herbalist, but he'll give it a go.
I'm just trying to think, would there be dangerous herbs in it, like belladonna and... No, it won't be that many.
Not in the kitchen garden.
There's this strange ivy of, yeah, rubbed all over myself. I feel really itchy now.
Yeah, so you guys have a bit of a dinner together. It's pretty meager, but it's dinner nonetheless. Victoria will tell you, Severino, that De La Rosa popped past yesterday. She'll come again tomorrow.
Yep, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we have an ally, finally.
You do have an ally.
Hopefully.
Sometimes I don't quite get to you, but you do actually have an ally.
Okay.
Yes.
Has there been any more of the plague doctor's activity in town?
There's no newspaper for you to read. Victoria's been a bit too upset.
Yes, I'm afraid we somewhat buried the lead, Vittorio. we were abducted by a queen of the snow. What's her name again?
Samblana.
Sablana. That explains our disappearance and specifically Severino's from right in, basically in front of your eyes. Yes, and she seemed to warn us or inform us, I suppose, of this Vaesen hunter that we believe killed the unicorn. Have you ever had any dealings with her before?
The Samblana? Absolutely not. She's
I don't recommend it.
just stop and think about that young man. A goddess. I was going to say exposed yourself to you, but that's definitely not the right turn of phrase.
Oh, Vittorio.
You try and stay away from her attention.
Yeah. The Semblana is winter itself. The fact that it chose to reveal itself like that says something significant.
Well, yes, considering what we discovered shortly thereafter, and the effect it seems to have had on the villa. Yes, this does not seem like a common criminal in this particular realm we now find ourselves in. Clearly a crime most heinous.
Has any correspondence arrived while we're away, Vittorio dear?
He kind of furrows his brow and thinks about it. No. Nothing untoward. Standard correspondence to the house. Bills, general letters, but no, nothing addressed to any of you. Were you expecting something?
I have reached out regarding what we saw while we were away. I had hoped that a friend or two might have had news.
Patience. Good things come to those with some patience.
I'm not sure that whatever will be brought will be good news, but I shall take your counsel.
Well, you all look tired and weary. I would suggest perhaps an early night or a quiet night at the very least.
What time is it?
By now it's probably 8 o'clock.
I will ask Vittoria. Yes. Have you heard anything about this this plague doctor? Has there been more sightings since we left?
Sightings? See, I overheard someone at the market, Jessipina, saying that her cousin's friend had seen the man in the plague mask over by St. Martin's Square of all places. And I do believe 2 days later, another body was located. But beyond that, it's kind of died down a little bit.
And I mean, I'm not sure how much more information you might have than Artemisia has already given us, which is quite a lot. But do you have any knowledge of the Order of the Black Rose?
The
And I will sort of say what we are aware of, that they're kind of like it's like an anti-society, hunting Vaesen and whatnot.
You are correct. Did you know that we all belong to the same society once? When
Not
we
sure.
were,
I didn't put it in my notes.
we were once known as the Order of Artemis. And the Order of Artemis's goals are very similar to what society's goals are now. But not very long after the formation of the Order of Artemis, there was a schism. Those that believed that all Vaesen were inherently evil, and those that believed some were good and some were evil. Protect the good, destroy the evil. And that schism is what led to the formation of society and the Order of the Black Rose. Now, the Order of the Black Rose is very similar to us in terms of scope, magnitude, and dogma to a degree. They don't have bases per se. They are quite itinerant. They move from location to location. Where there's a Vaesen of note or something that will serve their goals, they will be there. They will do what they do and leave. And there was a Order of the Black Rose in Venice for a while. And Signore Attilo Mariani worked very hard to break their linkages with this city. So they left about 20 years ago. The fact that you utter their name once again concerns me greatly. If they're back and committing crimes, if they're back doing their foul deeds, they must feel strong enough to counter us and take on the society.
Do you recall where they were stationed when they were in Venice?
It was 20 years ago, young man. My brain is not what it was. They stayed on the Palazzo Murani. Now, the Murani are a very old Venetian family. They've been around hundreds of years. They have their tentacles in every guild, in every business. Shady. Any wonder that the Order of Black Rose chose to set their roots down there.
Okay. Bennett sort of got a couple of wheels spinning on that, but he kind of has more pressing concerns. So, he might just sort of nod, finish his tea, thank them for the meal as per usual. And he will head up to his room and attempt to get some rest.
Good night, Doctor. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, Agatha is going to say her good nights, but then she is going to go to the library. Because there was, she saw when we first came to the house that there was a society's journal.
Yeah.
So she's going to look back, say about 26 years, and see if there's any mention of the Order of the Black Rose, and kind of read through about like that 5-10 year period.
All right. Give me a roll. For all those dice, no love.
I'm going to push it because... Okay.
One success.
One success.
Okay.
A little bit of frustration there.
You know it's in here somewhere. Damn it! You're gonna.
Do we get any conditions downgraded from the train trip, or
no? Because while you are saying it's still comfortable.
Yeah.
You really need to be.
Yoicks. Okay.
For 24 hours ish. You sit down in the library with the tome on the desk in front of you, and you flip through the pages, and you go back between 20 to 25 years. There are some scribbles mentioned in there, like, paragraph here and there. It states that the Order of the Black Rose has kind of quietened down. They are still at the Palazzo Morini at the moment. Interestingly, a woman with a child has just arrived at the Palazzo. You don't know anything. They just put a question mark. They don't know who she is. They don't know about this child. All they know it's a little one. She also has a babe that she comes carrying in. And that's really about all you have. As you click through, you kind of get little snippets where the woman has remained at the palazzo and seems to be some sort of higher level entity within that cell of the Order of Black Rose. And ostensibly her children are growing. You find out that the little one is a boy and the slightly younger one is a girl. So you don't know their names, but there they are.
Well, that has answered a question for Agatha. So she will go and find herself a very stiff drink and pour much larger than she usually allows, and then return to her room.
Yep. Done deal. Mr. Severino?
You're going to go to the study, write out 12 copies of a notice that he'll send off in the morning.
Ooh.
And because it's a podcast, I'll read it out.
Good man.
Wanted, Black Rose Tattoo blasphemers, sibling heretics, Cesare and Lucrezia for the crimes of murder, blasphemy and incest, most heinous participation in satanic worship. Reward for assistance 1,000 lira in helping the Vatican purge our kingdom of this filth. And then there's a description of both of them. And the plan is to put like 6 of them around the city and then send 6 out to the nearest small villages. And just, if they come at us, they're going to have to deal with this shit as well, sort of thing.
Ever. Done. I like it. Okay, so you work on that and get that all done and dusted. Easy. Anything else anyone wants to do tonight, or?
Yes.
I know it. You're itching to get going.
And I think the second this Hartwell's door shuts, Bennett's door opens, and he is going to head to the study. To the library, and he wants to find out what he can about this Bloodstone Dario.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he already knows from talking to, I think it was Artemisia, that it's meant to be cursed. So he wants to find out what he can find here about it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, go on.
Specifically, I'm actually more interested in current information, not so much, current ownership. Yeah, actually, it's a lot about who currently lives there, or who currently owns it. Does someone live there? Yeah. Stuff like that.
Okay. Give me a dice roll.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. Let's see if I have my notes in my book. Otherwise, I'm doing a very quick Google.
Again, his major concern is am I breaking into a lived-in place, or is it,
I did have a list of who was in it at the time, and it actually gets a bit hazy around this time period, believe it or not. It's really not that simple. So the palace was commissioned in 1487 by Giovanni Dario, a merchant and diplomat of Venice. It was given as a dowry to his daughter Marietta, who married a spice merchant, Vincenzo Barbero. And it is said that of that point, the family started experiencing economic misfortunes and tragedy within the family, including Marietta, shocked by what was happening, suicided by jumping into the Grand Canal. And hey, there is also a rumor that the palace is located above a Templar cemetery. Anyway, so until the 1800s, it was owned by the Barbero family. And this is where we start to come in. From there, it was sold to an Arbit Abdol, who was an Armenian gemstone trader. He was very quickly declared bankrupt. The next buyer, which was the British historian Rawdown Brown. He is the current owner of the palazzo. Only problem is, Rawdown Brown died 3 years ago, and the palazzo has been lying derelict and unused ever since. Except there's a caretaker, but that's it.
Do I know what was the name of the current owner? Sorry, the current owner.
Rawdon Brown. Well, he's dead. So the current owner, it's intestate, so it's kind of.
Yeah, that's fine. I just needed to know his name. Do I know if he had any children?
Give me another roll.
Okay.
Because while the library is pretty good, you are pushing it to its limit.
Yeah.
There's a footnote at the bottom of the document saying that he died childless, which is why it's intestate.
All right. That's great. My next question is a question for myself here. I have in my notes that I was told to steal a painting. Was I told what painting to steal?
No, they just said in the study.
In the study. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what all my experience in lying has got me. I am going to dress up as formal as I can. I'm going to take my doctor's bag, but could I potentially hold it in something more akin to a suit, or a suitcase or a traveling briefcase, something that doesn't scream doctor's bag, basically. I guess in my mind I have that doctor's bag, like
You don't want one of us to go and like look at or cause a diversion or something, or are you just keeping this to yourself? It's cool either way. I just thought
I was thinking of trying to rope Severino into this, but if there's a chance that I can lie my way through, I think he would try that. I think Bennett's going to try.
all right.
Yep. As unwise a decision as I'm aware that is. Yeah, I'm going to
say you either bring a doctor's bag or you don't. You can't.
All right, that's fair. I will not bring a doctor's bag. Oh my god, it's a terrible, terrible idea.
Let go of that protective blanket. Okay. High wire without the net.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to head to the Palazzo Dario in the night alone.
It's about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Certainly not the hour to go visiting, but hey, you do you. Okay, so yeah, you know where the Palazzo is. It's well known in Venice.
One last thing. This place we have an armory, is that right?
We do.
I'm going to take, can I take like a pistol?
You can?
Then he will.
Sure. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock by the time you kind of organize yourself and you start walking down to the Palazzo. You know where it is. The villa is on the edge of one of the bigger canals. It's actually on a corner block, so it's got canals on two sides of it. It's tall. I think it's 3 stories. It's render, and the paint on the render is flaking off. It's showing its age. It is, built in the 1400s, so she's old. She's a bit decrepit, but she's still standing. Yay. Things definitely aren't square. It's got it kind of sagging in the middle. It's all the properties of a haunted house. Of course, it's dark and it's misty out here.
Yeah, and so you've got this shot
crazy
of like Dr. Bennett, sweaty palms, shoving this pistol into the back of his pants, and like, if anyone here has watched any version of Fargo, like that idea of the least criminally minded person trying to commit a crime, that is everything that Bennett is right now. And so he's just gonna like say to himself, like Bennett, just like whispering his own name to himself before standing up straight, and going up to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And knocking.
Just pretend to be your father.
Yes.
No, just the persona.
Yeah.
How do you knock on that door? Do you bang on that door like your father would, full of confidence, or are you more of a tentative, genteel tap tap tap?
I think it is a tap, but I think he's gonna go for like a musical tap, like a dun 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 dun,
That's amazing. You do that, and there are crickets. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. The house is dark. It's shuttered as far as you can see.
All right. Bennett will try again with a firmer knock, more assertive, trying to reach the back of this place, while also looking around, starting to decide, another approach is going to be needed. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it's gonna be the last time anyone ever sees Dr. Bennett.
I know. You knock a little bit louder, but you know what? It was successful. I rolled a 2, and that is you got heard. So it's a long while, but then you hear a croaky voice on the other side. Who is it?
Is there like a peephole? Like, is there some way that they're looking out at me? Okay.
Nope.
I'll just clear my throat and like take my hat off and say, yes, hello. My name is Mr. Matthias Fallow. I work for the Brown Estate.
You do? Do you know what time it is?
Yes, I do apologize, and I'm like looking around out outside of this. I do apologize. My carriage got waylaid. The wheel broke off. The details aren't super important, but yes, I was meant to arrive quite a lot earlier. Did you not get the missive from the estate?
You better give me a roll, buddy.
All right, here we go. So manipulation. I got one
Oh,
skill
is
in
that
it.
why you've been bumping that up?
Yes, I got one skill in it, and I get +2 if I am lying, which I am. So, one success.
You hear a door unlock. The handle turns with a very heavy creak, and the door groans open. Just a bit, by the way, just a bit. But you see this frail, elderly old man with a stooped posture, and he kind of peers at you with his blue, beady eyes. You say you're from the estate.
That's correct. And who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
You should know this. If you are from the estate.
And I very well may have, if I had been, if I had received the correct papers, but unfortunately, I'm somewhat here by the seat of my pants. Yes, I do apologize. Awfully rude of me. Is there any chance we could talk inside? It's piercingly cold out here. To be cold at this time of year.
It's not much warmer in here, and you open the door and step aside. But you have his full suspicion. He is quite an elderly gentleman, 1 foot in the grave, one foot in the living, and not much separates them.
Yeah.
And as you step into the Palazzo d'Adio, there's this overwhelming smell of mustiness and damp. It's pervasive. It fills every nook and cranny. It's dark outside, but you also know that the heavy velvet curtains are drawn over all the windows. There's no warmth in here at all. There's no light. The only sign of life is probably a couple of doors away down the corridor. It says warm glow, and you figure that's probably where this gentleman is hanging out while he attends to the house to the best of his ability.
Yeah, and I'll like pull the glove off my right hand and extend it and go, yeah, like I was saying, Mr. Fallow, and your name?
Osiel.
Absolute pleasure to meet you, and I cannot apologize enough for the circumstances of our meeting. Yes, as I was saying on the other side of the door, I have been sent by the Brown Estate to do a cataloging of his belongings at the time of his passing. Did you know Mr. Brown?
No, I was hired after he left.
Good.
However, this is neither the time nor the place to have this conversation. It is 11 o'clock at night, and you have disturbed my sleep.
Yes. Yeah, of course. If you were just to show me to my rooms.
I cannot. There is nothing prepared. I had no advance notice that you were coming.
A cushion and a chair will do me fine. I'm quite used to the open road, sleeping rough, so to speak. You'll barely even know I'm here.
You know what? This guy doesn't give a... He's old. He's decrepit. 2 doors down, across the canal, is an osteria. They're open till late. You can get a broom there, and I can help you in the morning. But to catalogue everything, it's already been done. The lawyers have picked out everything. Why are you here?
Yes, there seems to be quite the heavy debate about where all this, who should get what and what exactly there is left. I'm not the first face you have seen here to do this, and I'm afraid to say I may not be the last. Perhaps I was rather hoping to stay here at the premises. I'm a bit of a night owl, as you can tell, and I was really hoping to get out of here within a few days. Perhaps, I don't know, I could stay in his study.
No, you can't, because that's where I sleep.
Oh, of course it is.
And his shoulders kind of just slump. He's tired. He don't give a bugger anymore. If you're happy to, you can sleep in the kitchen.
Very good.
It's over there. And he'll indicate with a lazy flick of his wrist.
Yeah, and Bennett will head to the kitchen to plan his next move.
And he's like, good night, sir.
And to you, Mr. Seal.
He's not happy with you. And he'll hootle off to the study. Which, it's got light. It's got some warmth in it. It's the only room that does.
Yeah.
Enjoy the cold, cold night. All right.
God. Yeah.
Yep. He closes the door. House is in darkness again.
All right. I might need a bit of time to ponder the next
Right.
move there.
We
Yeah.
can actually stop it there for tonight, I guess. And we can pick this up next week. And
Good.
yeah, and we can see how things roll from there. So thank you once again to Jim, Sharon, and Blake. We will see you next week for session 21, and let's see what happens with this ill-planned heist. Good night.